Welcome back to Afternoon Express, coming to you live on SABC3. Now, kicking off today in Gauteng is the 2018 Youth Summit for Breaking Down the Borders Africa. It brings together young leaders from across the continent to connect and collaborate towards the prosperity of all Africans.
We're joined now by tech entrepreneur and one of the key speakers of the summit, Lethabo Motsoeledi. Welcome to the
Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
How did the summit come about?
So the summit started in 2016. And it was, as it's so rightly named, breaking down borders within Africa. I think a lot of the times, many people around Africa tend to live in isolation and not knowing, or travel around Africa is also very difficult. So it was more around bringing Africans together, understanding how the different countries and cultures are. And that happened for 2 years, and I think the delegates then started to realize that there needs to be a place where young voices can voice themselves about policy issues and about things that affect them as Africans. And that's when the summit was born last year, the inaugural summit, and this week is the second one.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I've always said that Africa's biggest challenge is the fact that there's not enough communication and not enough sharing of ideas.
And inter-African
and we don't travel
me,
to each other's
so
continents, or countries.
I can't, like, when I was invited to come speak at this conference, I said yes, I have to. There's something that I will learn from everyone else that's there, but that's so rightly true. Like, travel amongst African countries it's so much easier to go to Europe.
It's so much easier to go to Europe
everywhere
than
else.
it is to Africa.
But it's so important to understand what's happening within our own ecosystem, within our own neighborhood. But hence why conferences like these or tours like this are so important. But also, and I say this as a South African, we tend to think we're first with everything, or that we're the only ones to experience it. But I'm a previous Mandela Road scholar, and I learned from all the other scholars across the other African countries that, yes, so many South Africans Africans have been through the same things. And if we could just converse, we would learn so much from each other. And whatever we're facing as a country is actually not unique. And there are other people that we really can learn from if we just talk.
And I suppose historically that's what the strength of colonialism was, is that it kept Africa divided.
Exactly.
What will you be speaking on specifically?
Well, I'm a tech entrepreneur. I've been running a design agency for 3 years, and I'm running back into the whole startup mode this year with a new product I launched. But I really love how technology is an empowering factor in Africa. I'm reading a book by Peter Thiel called 0 to 1, and it really talks about how people or entrepreneurs need to create something new in a world where they believe there's nothing new to create. But in Africa, there's so much more we could do, and there's so much more that technology can help accelerate that. And I'll be talking about how we can create new types of technology that are homegrown and particularly impact us and work for us. And it's not a Silicon Valley cut and paste that actually just won't work here.
Absolutely.
Who are the other delegates, and who are some other speakers that you're looking forward to hearing?
I'm so looking forward to hearing my one good friend, Vivian Onono. She is well known for all the various committee she's on. She's also youth advisor for the UN, but I know her as the lady that speaks to first ladies. She advises a lot about girls' rights and education and the likes. And there's also a South African scientist who's won 49 awards in science, engineering and technology. His name is Sir Stuart, and I'm quite excited to hear from him, as well as there's an African photojournalist from Kenya. He's an activist, and I'm really, really excited to hear from him. He's won 2 actually of the CNN Photojournalism Awards. And I'm quite excited to hear from him, and actually just the delegates. There's so many people that are just going to be coming there with their pearls of wisdom that I can't wait to hear. So I'm going early to listen to everyone speak.
Would you say that we're seeing more and more women being pushed to the forefront on these platforms as Africa?
We don't have a choice, hey? It's finally
we don't have
our
a choice,
time.
but you'll be surprised.
And it's not so much that we were in hiding. It's just finally there's an opportunity for women to speak, and finally we're breaking down stereotypes that, you know, women can't be entrepreneurs, women can't be activists, women can't do all these. We're finally taking it by the horns, and that's why we're here, I suppose, and we're good speakers.
Yeah, but you really are such a good speaker.
You are lovely. I wish we were coming to hear you speak.
Well done. Thank you very much.
Thank you.